Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of JustNoMil. In today's episode, Emile grilled me over an invite to baby shower. How do I stop Emile's weekly visits to see my newborn? Emile broke my heart today, the Mil I was raving about a few weeks ago on here. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Emile grilled me over an invite to baby shower. Hi, quite new here, but hopefully can get some advice out at this. So recently got engaged and my sister-in-law, my fiance's brother's girlfriend, got pregnant. We are close friends, so we're friends and I decided to throw her a baby shower. And this is how it went. I invited ML to a surprise baby shower that her other friends and I are organizing for SL. This event is scheduled to be a small gathering with friends. ML responded to my invite message by saying that this is a last-minute invite and that this should be celebrated amongst family, not friends. And how dare I send this invitation so last minute? I sent it 2 weeks prior the event. She said that this is a significant milestone in all of our lives and it should be celebrated with my soon-to-be husband's sister as she is becoming an aunt for the first time, and it's extremely horrible that I have taken this celebration from her. The main idea of this baby shower was to celebrate my SIL, not aunts or anything like that. In response, I expressed sympathy and clarified the nature of the baby shower as a friends-only event, not a family one. I explained my role in the event due to my connection with the guest of honor's friends. I also mentioned that the invitations were sent out late due to changes in plans and reassured that it's a small, casual gathering. Lastly, I apologized for any unintentional hurt caused, noting the difference in expectations for the celebration. So overall, I'm very shocked about this situation and she hasn't responded to my apology message. For me, it's a bit hard cause I try to be on my very best behavior with her. Edit. I only invited her because my brother-in-law asked me to. I think your Emile has just given you permission to disengage from her emotionally. She sounds incredibly selfish and controlling. Manage your expectations of her. She is probably not going to ever be a JustNoMil. Your mother-in-law will likely always be a negative in your life and marriage. It would probably be great for your mental health to stop worrying about whether she's going to be mad. Spoiler alert, she will always be upset about something. It's how she gets attention to control people. Do not take it personally, it's her problem, not you. You are probably a nice person who wants to respect your elders. Don't let her weaponize that against you. Since she is going to be a problem, you might want to negotiate with your FDH that he will be responsible for communication with his family and you will be responsible for yours. You should also probably discuss boundaries and consequences for bad behavior. Oh man, you did nothing wrong, please don't apologize to her. If you're feeling bold and a little petty. Well, Emile, you've had X months to plan an event the way you found appropriate. You chose not to. My job was to celebrate the mom-to-be, not her mother and not her sisters, because the pregnancy and baby are not about you or them. Thank you for your feedback. Now I know my party planning skills are not good enough for you. You won't receive an invite next time. Ha ha ha, this is actually the perfect response. It's not unusual for friends to throw a friends-only baby shower, or bridal shower, or birthday party, etc. It doesn't take the place of an event for family members. I don't know why your ML is having a fit about it. TBH, the friends-only events I have attended don't usually include the mothers, as it is likely that the family will be having one as well. Exactly, I only invited her because my brother-in-law begged me to do so, cause he was scared she'd feel left out and get angry at us. Stop apologizing and stop being on your best behavior. Don't jump through hoops for anyone. She's going to be the same rude, overbearing, nosy, know-it-all no matter how hard you try. It's never going to be enough, so don't beat yourself over the head for someone who will just complain about how you did that wrong too. How do I stop Emile's weekly visits to see my newborn? Hello. Seeking advice as I don't even know how to wrap my head around this. I'm in a bit of a bind. I love my Emile, however, she's made it a weekly thing to come over once a week, and then we go see them over the weekend. It's been like this since my baby was born, 3 months ago. My baby is growing up so fast, and while I love her coming around, I want to put an end to these weekly visits. My maternity leave is ending in 2 months, and when she visits, I don't hold my baby at all because she wants to hold her, feed her, and play with her. And when we visit them on the weekends, same thing. How would you approach this? I just want this to be every other week or so, and I'm looking for a way to not hurt her feelings. I do love having her around, just not every week, and then it's going over on the weekend. I'm feeling drained. Any advice would be really appreciated. I worry that I allowed this to happen for 3 months that it might stick, and I just can't have this be the norm any longer. You don't say that your MIL is awful, so assuming you have an okay relationship, I would just say something like, "It's been so nice that you and Elo have been able to spend so much time together and bond while she's still so little. Since I'm going back to work soon, we need to make some changes to the schedule. Elo, and I won't be available for weekday meeting UPS after X date. Returning to work is a big transition for our family. We are really going to need your understanding and flexibility when it comes to our availability while we navigate everything and settle in a new routine. I know you get it." Is it totally honest? No. But it aims to make her feel appreciated and wanted and lays out that things will be changing. And hopefully sets it up in a way that if she is polite and sweet, she can't push back too much. Don't visit on the weekend. Don't be home for the visit. Be out. Have plans. MIL, things are going to be changing a lot when I go back to work. The frequency and length of visits will have to change. We're actually going to pause visits entirely for at least a few weeks when I go back so that we can focus on adjusting to this big change in our family life. We'll let you know when we're ready for visitors or to visit you again. It will definitely not be weekly anymore, as our weekends will now be a very precious time to us. And our priority is spending time as our own little family, keeping up with household tasks, and resting. I put a blanket ban on visitors when I went back to work. We didn't see anyone for over a month, and we really needed that time to adjust. I highly recommend it. My mom had certain expectations of what being a grandma meant. She expected that I would need her, and she'd be over all the time. She never communicated her thoughts. I figured I'd see her once a month like we always did before kids. Being postpartum, I let her come over too often because I was in so much pain I didn't think straight and just let her have her way. It was horribly invasive and uncomfortable to have her around. After a couple of weeks, I started pushing back. No, that doesn't work for me when she invited herself over. I'm working on setting a better schedule and routine, so I'll just see you this weekend also was something I used often. She wasn't happy, and even when we did visit, things were strained. She will never be happy about not being involved, and I'll never be happy with her coming over all the time. At some point, I had to stop sacrificing my own happiness for the sake of hers. She needs to find fulfillment and happiness in her own life without depending on her grandkids to be her emotional support animals. Pushing back little by little helped me gradually get back to our normal once-a-month visits. Just simply say, "While I've enjoyed our weekly visits, now that my maternity leave is ending, so will our current visitation schedule. To help our family adjust to the new routine, I'd like to schedule visits twice per month on X day. Emile broke my heart today. The mill I was raving about a few weeks ago on here. I posted a while back on advice on how to approach my MIL politely to scale back visits to spend more one-on-one time with my baby and my husband before I go to work. My MIL was visiting every week, and I truly enjoyed it at first, and we built a really great relationship, and she became like a second mom to me while I went and see with my mom. Welp, she broke my heart today. I didn't let her know that my dad was coming over until the day of, but told her she is still welcome to come. She said no and on the side texted me directly a very passive-aggressive text. YLL, I saw red. I could not believe this woman who I have grown to love like a mother would ever text me like this. I apologized for today and explained why weekly visits were not happening, taking the advice some of you gave, and sent a really nice text reaffirming that I appreciate her and don't want to upset her. Her response to me was, "It's your kid. You can do what you want." My heart is shattered. She referred to my baby as its. This is very triggering for me because I am just making amends with my family who didn't meet my baby until after 3 months because we were fighting, and it made me feel like I felt back then. I mentioned this to my husband, and he is gaslighting me into thinking this was my fault because I didn't communicate the change of plans after inviting her. Like, I'm trying to squeeze all the family in. I think you are reading a bit too much into it. From what you stated in your comment, there doesn't seem to be a problem. She said something one way, and I believe that you took it another. Can I gently suggest, it's your kid, you can do what you want. Doesn't necessarily mean she was referring to your child as it. It is your kid could have been a statement of fact. You were feeling good about the relationship before this. Perhaps it is time to sweep all the eggshells off the floor and wait to see how she is going forward. Your feelings were hurt. Maybe her feelings were hurt as well. It's not always all the other person's fault. Major life changes can bring out the best and the worst in all people involved. We all tend to have romanticized ideas of what these events will look like. What do you want your future to look like? Do you want an extended family with all that entails? It takes work. I am not saying you are the only one who has to put the work in, quite the opposite. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to take time to calm down. What you do after that is a choice based upon what you want the outcome to be. This may all be a simple miscommunication. Texts are just not a great way to handle sensitive subjects. With text, you have no tone, facial expression, touch, etc. It could have been suggested by the text app. Maybe it was a rushed text when something else was happening that distracted her. You could ask to drop by for a chat. Then you can leave if she truly is who you seem to think she is now. Extended family is so helpful in many ways. Just make sure both of you are understanding each other. I would not involve your husband and put him in the middle until you double-check your want-to communication. Adding a third person just adds another layer with the possibility of further communication problems. My great-grandmother cut off communication when my mother, as a child, gifted her something made with seaside items. Apparently, the item was damaged in shipping, and paternal great-grandmother decided my mother was calling her an old crab. Ruined decades for the family. Her sister came up to me at the funeral very upset. I didn't realize she had mistaken me for my mother. It's your kid. You can do what you want. Is this the part you're shattered over? I just need clarification because I don't see anything wrong with this sentence. It is indeed your kid. You can do whatever you want. If you are actually shattered because of the it's part of this, maybe reevaluate, because yes, we all have trauma, but to be triggered by something no one would even give a second thought to typing is going to set you up to be that daughter-in-law. Is there any chance that this is a case of something coming across poorly in print versus how she might have responded if you were actually speaking to her? Your husband's response, however, is 100% wrong. You are his family now, and he needs to support you first. All communication with Mil goes via her son from now on to avoid any further issues. And stick to it. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.